Donald Trump's first 100 days back in the White House have been an absolute disaster, and he has the worst approval rating in history to prove it.
We have a brand new CNN poll showing Americans are turning on him after propelling him back into office just 6 months ago. According to this brand new poll, Trump's approval rating now standing at just 41%. To give you some context, that is the lowest for any president at this point in his term in the history of modern polling, going all the way back to Eisenhower.
The new ABC News poll shows he has the lowest approval rating at this milestone of any president within inside of the last 80 years. The poll also produced with the Washington Post and Ipsos finding just 39% of Americans approve of the job he's done so far.
Our new Fox News poll at 100 days job approval compared to other presidents. There you see the president at 44%. And you see his first term at 45% at this mark, the 100-day mark.
Trump is down across the board, and he's even breaking his own record when it comes to bad polling.
Numbers are just horrible. There's no way to sugarcoat it. And the first way we'll sort of point that out is we'll look at where Donald Trump is now versus where he was 100 days into his first presidency. And you see it here. You don't have to be a mathematical genius. 41% approve of him now. It was 44% back in 2017 around the 100-day mark. And what's so notable here is that throughout his second term as president, he tended to be running ahead of where he was in his first term. No longer is that the case. He has fallen below where he was at this point in his first term. Of course, this is just Trump. Let's compare him to other presidents. And I really think this kind of puts a bow on it. And you can see it here. You see the 41%. That is 12 points below Joe Biden. That's 3 points below where he was in his first term. Look at where Obama was, 63%. He's 22 points below that. And George W. Bush at this point in 2001, he is, again, 21 points below. And as you pointed out in your opening, Jessica Dean, I look back at all of the polling you possibly could long before I was born. And Trump's 41% at 100 days is the worst on record. He has broken his own record for being the worst. The American people do not like what they are seeing at this point from Donald John Trump.
It turns out if you campaign on revenge, violence, and sending U.S. citizens to El Salvador, people don't exactly throw you a parade. Despite the fact that Trump thinks that he deserves a $90 million military parade for his birthday. Because nothing says man of the people like tanks, missiles, and $16 hot dogs. And of course, Elon Musk and his Doge minions, who are supposedly cutting waste, are nowhere to be seen when it comes to MAGA blowing tens of millions of dollars on glorified cosplay. But anyway, let's get into this beautiful, glorious dumpster fire that is Trump's polling.
The numbers for him are brutally bad. In the Pew poll, President Donald Trump is underwater in his overall approval rating by 19 points. In the Fox News poll, people are asked if Trump's policies are helping or hurting the U.S. economy. They say Trump's policies are hurting the U.S. economy by a margin of 22 points. In the Economist YouGov poll, they asked if Trump is generally helping or hurting not just the economy, but the whole United States. Since Trump has been back in office, have his actions as president helped the United States or hurt the United States? The American people say Trump has hurt the United States, and they say it by a 24-point margin.
And it's not just ABC, Pew, YouGov, and Fox News. Trump's terrible numbers look identical to the ones in the new New York Times Siena poll, too.
Voters see Trump's use of power as overreaching. And then it's just a litany of all the things Trump has been trying to do and how much the American public hates all of it. Do you support or oppose Trump withholding funds from universities? Oppose by a 25-point margin. Should Trump be allowed to impose tariffs without authorization from Congress? No, by a 33-point margin. Should Trump be allowed to eliminate programs enacted by Congress? No, by a 33-point margin. Should Trump be allowed to deport legal immigrants for protesting against Israel? No, by a 46-point margin. Should Trump be allowed to send U.S. citizens to that prison in El Salvador, like he's been threatening to? No, he should not be allowed to do that by a 63-point margin. Should Trump be allowed to ignore an order from the United States Supreme Court? No, by a 70-point margin. When you are losing polling questions about stuff you've said you might want to do or stuff you're trying to do, when you're losing polling questions like that by 40, 60, 70-point margins, we're pretty close to something that looks like a national consensus view in this country. And the view is no. No.
According to Trump, he was given an unprecedented and powerful mandate, which he believes justifies his regressive and destructive moves.
Right.
First off, not only did Trump not win with the mandate, he won the popular vote with 49.81% to Harris's 48.34%. And second off, it's incredibly apparent with all of this polling that Americans are starting to stand up and say,
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Do you approve of how Trump is managing the government? No. Do you approve of how Trump is managing trade? No. Do you approve of Donald Trump's executive orders rolling back DEI programs in the federal government? No. Do you approve of Donald Trump on the economy? No. Do you approve of Donald Trump and his handling of the Russia-Ukraine war? Nope. Do you approve of Donald Trump's handling of immigration? No. Do you approve of Donald Trump's treatment of the Kilmar Abrego Garcia case? No. By a 21-point margin? No.
Americans overwhelmingly see Trump's power grabs as overreaching. They believe he's gone too far on everything from tariffs to immigration rates to gutting federal programs like DEI to even arresting judges.
I mean, outright majorities of the country say that Trump has gone, quote, too far on tariffs, too far. On his cuts to the federal workforce, too far. On immigration enforcement, too far. On his overall changes to the political and economic system, too far. Outright majorities of the country say he's gone too far on all of those things.
Even if you factor in the margin of error, Trump is still underwater. There's no spin, no fake news excuse, no Hunter Biden laptop meme that can save him. Magic Spoon has turned their super popular high-protein cereal into high-protein treats that are light, crispy, and taste just like those classic crunchy cereal bars. Magic Spoon's treats are so delicious and have already become my favorite on-the-go gym snack. Magic Spoon is also launching a brand new high-protein granola. True to the Magic Spoon promise, it's packed with protein and so crunchy and sweet. Perfect for breakfast and snacking. I've been having this every morning to fuel my workouts. Magic Spoon's high-protein treats are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. They come in mouth-watering flavors like marshmallow, chocolate peanut butter, and dark chocolate. I love how Magic Spoon tastes and how simple it is. It's the perfect thing to have right before a workout. Magic Spoon's brand new granola packs in 13 grams of protein and 0 added sugars. They come in delicious flavors, honey, almond, and peanut butter. These crunchy clusters have seriously become my go-to late night snack. Get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/Gabe or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/Gabe for $5 off. Americans believe that Trump has gone too far, but honestly, what did people expect? He literally told everyone what he was going to do.
And you know why I wanted to be a dictator? Because I want a wall, right? I want a wall, and I want to drill, drill, drill. He says, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? I said, no, 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 other than day one.
They know when he comes back, it's game over. Day one dictator. Hey, day one dictator. Hey, how many people here? Now, normally I know you probably wouldn't in America, but considering what they've done to this man, how many people here support day one dictator?
People are claiming you want retribution. People are claiming you want what has happened to you done to Democrats. Would you do that ever?
Look, what's happened to me has never happened in this country before. And it has to stop because...
Wait a minute. I want to hear that again. It has to stop.
Well, it does have to stop because we're not going to have a country
And if you're
anymore.
elected, what does that mean? Define that.
Look, what I've gone through, nobody's ever gone through. I'm a very legitimate person. I built a great business. Everything's been... I have been under siege. Nobody's ever seen anything like this in this country. I'm going to be a dictator for one day.
Sure, Jan.
I don't know that we've ever seen another 100 first days from any president, Democrat, Republican, Whig, alien overlord, this roundly rejected by the American people. When Trump's actions and his collapse in public support are happening at the exact same time, you don't exactly need to be Sherlock Holmes to solve that one.
There's also a new AP national poll that's out today, which puts Trump minus 24 on the economy. Whoa. There's a new Washington Post ABC Ipsos poll that's out today. Their headline, Trump's immigration ratings turn negative. He's always been able to count on people being with him on the nasty things he says about immigrants. Not anymore. People are not with him on immigration anymore. The thing he can always count on having a positive approval rating on, not anymore.
So 100 days in, record low approval, and the national consensus that's brewing is a resounding no to Trumpism. Now, it's unfortunate that it took Trump actually being back in office for some people to finally see it. He's a con man, a failed businessman, and an absolute fucking moron. But hey, it's that kind of moron who creates problems for himself, like hiring Pete Hegseth as his Secretary of Defense.
Pete Hegseth is a problem for Donald Trump. And the way we can see this pretty clearly is, you sort of set the baseline level that you'd expect in terms of popularity in the Trump administration. That's Trump himself. He's at minus 5 points on net favorability. Not so hot, but not terrible. Look at where Pete Hegseth is. Way underwater at minus 14 percentage points, nearly 10 points below where Donald Trump is. If Trump is par, Pete Hegseth is way off the reservation at this particular point. So much more unpopular than you would expect of the average cabinet member. And indeed, Pete Hegseth at this particular point is the least liked cabinet member in Donald Trump's administration. In fact, he is the least liked Secretary of Defense. You have to go all the way back to Donald Rumsfeld back at the end of the Bush administration to find a Secretary of Defense who is less liked than Pete Hegseth is currently.
Hegseth, by the way, is not the only Trump loyalist dragging him underwater like a concrete boot. Another fan favorite? Elon Musk, the guy who promised government efficiency and instead brought us mass layoffs and cutting Ebola prevention.
I think if there's one thing we should be taking away from the results in Wisconsin and the polling that we have from Wisconsin and national, if you are a Republican candidate running in a swing state, you don't want Elon Musk anywhere near you. Yes, maybe you like the money, but you do not want his presence in your state. Why is that? Elon Musk, simply put, is an unpopular guy. He is political poison. Look in Wisconsin, his net favorable rating, minus 12 points underwater. That is an even worse number when you look nationally. Look at that. It's minus 17 points. So if there's one big lesson to take away from Wisconsin is Elon Musk does not help Republicans when he shows up. If anything, the data suggests that he hurts them.
Yeah. Crazy. Turns out putting Pete Signal Chat Hegseth and Elon efficiency means firing everyone Musk in charge of your government doesn't exactly inspire confidence. Trump is on a downward spiral and he's bringing the whole party down with him.
If the House GOP is under any illusions that Donald Trump's fall in the polls won't bring them down as well, they are living on Fantasy Island. What are we talking about here? Let's take a look at the generic congressional ballot. Democrats versus Republicans. We have 3 polls out within the last few weeks. What do they all show? They all show the Democrats up by 2 points in the CNBC poll. The Fox News poll that was out on Friday, look at that, Democrats up by 7. The New York Times poll that was out this Friday as well, but Democrats by 3. And keep in mind, the House GOP won the popular vote back in 2024 by a little less than 3 percentage points. So when you see 3, 7, 2, averaging 4, that is a tremendous shift. That is a shift of 7 points from the November 2024 elections away from the GOP to the House Democrats. Donald Trump dragging down the House Republicans.
Where are we seeing this shift in a most pronounced way?
Where are we seeing it? We've spoken about it, Mr. Berman. We're talking about independents. This is how you know that Trump is bringing down the House GOP. Look at Trump's net favorable rating. In October of 2024, according to the New York Times, it was minus 9 points. Look at where it is now, minus 30 points among independents. That's horrific. That's historically awful. Take a look at the generic ballot. In October of 2024, the Democrats were ahead, but only by 3, well within the margin of error. Look at where they are now, up 17 points. There is no way on God's green earth that the Republicans can hold on to the House of Representatives if they lose independents by 17 percentage points. My goodness gracious, this is what dreams are made of.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support my work on What Was That, the best way is by becoming a paid subscriber at whatwasthat.show. I'm fully independent, no corporate backing, no team, just me running this one-man show. You'll get exclusive episodes, deep dive breakdowns, and articles you won't find anywhere else. That's whatwasthat.show. Prefer to listen while you're on the go? What Was That is available on all major podcast platforms. Apple, Spotify, you name it. Until next time, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That?